What's going on? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. It's a little bit different. Haven't done this in a very long time, approximately a year, I think. Yep. But we got Adam because I just haven't had time to build Zamasu, and he has been brewing this deck since it came out. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Like always, buttons. You know what to do. All right. Where's the leader?
Right here. So Zamasu, the boogeyman, as it were, of the current meta. So this is a mill deck, and on the front side, it just anytime that I attack, I get to look at the top 5 for a god card, so I can search out any of my Zamasus, Goku Blacks, or possibly my super combo. Spoiler alert. Awaken, if I have 2 energy and a Z Unison in play, I can go ahead and restand 1, draw 1, and go down to 6. On the Awaken side, we have a permanent that you can choose Goku Blacks from your drop area when you're activating the Union Patara skill. And then also whenever a green Zamasu card mills, you get to mill 1 extra. And that's not a once per turn, which is nice. Also, the draw is not a once per turn. So when this card attacks, it gets plus 5k for the battle, and I also get to draw a card.
It's just Evolve or Union Patara. It's not just when they mill, right?
Evolve or Union Patara, yeah. Yeah. All right. Start with my Z deck. We'll start with 3 of the Goasu Unisons. We like to keep this on the board if we can, but if it dies, it's fine. We got a couple extra copies. When my opponent mills one of their cards, whether it be on my turn or their turn, I'll get to add a marker. I've got a ±0 here that I can pull either a Goku Black or a Zamasu with a cost of 1 from either my Z energy or from actually the Z deck. And I can play it with its skills negated for the game. It does have a -3, which does come in handy. It's a -3 where I can restand one of my Zamasus and give it blocker. So all of my Zamasus have indestructible, all of the evolved targets and the Union Pataras have indestructible, so it's nice to have an indestructible blocker on the board. The one cost that we could possibly pull from the Z deck is going to be this one here, Goku Black and Zamasu. I play it at 4 because later on in the game, if they're starting to really be cautious of how they're drawing, you can kind of turn on a dime and start to go more aggressive. It does have the ability to gain 15k if my opponent has 20 or more cards in their drop area, and it also has critical and dual attack naturally, which is really nice.
I've never seen you outright play that card, so I have no idea it had that effect.
Absolutely. If the Unison does die, I run a backup just to be able to keep my dormant potential unleashed active for no energy cost. I also do have some Unison hate because those Unisons coming from the Z deck are painful. And then finally, just if I've got an extra energy in 1 Z, I can just stick this thing on the field and use it for defensive postures later. All right, so the deck itself, we run 4 of the 1 costs. This is a top 5 searcher. It does also have a limit 1 where I can rest it and have my opponent mill 1 card. The other, let me go here with that. I've also got another Goku Black. These are nice to play if you're able to. Worst case scenario is they counterplay it and it goes to the drop where I can use it for Union Patara anyway. But this one I can pay 1 green and be able to play it essentially for free. And then if I have a Union Zamasu on the field, specifically Union Patara, this card will get double strike, and it also mills 1 card from the opponent. And then I do also play a couple of these. I might switch it to a 3-3 split. This is such a great card on your defensive stack because it is an activate battle. You pay 1 green and you can play this one out and it plays out a blocker for you, which is really nice to be able to kind of block and get to the next turn and continue to mill. So those are the Goku Blacks, and once again, the leader does allow you to Union Patara these from the drop if necessary. My Zamasus, we start with the 1 cost. This one draws you a card when played, which is nice. It has the similar effect as the Goku Black. When I rest it, I can mill 1 card from the top of your opponent's deck. We've got 4 of the draw Zamasus. This is a Union Patara. for 1, draw 2 cards, and then I can, any of the cards that are underneath, I can send it to my Z energy. It's an activate main, not once per turn, and I can KO one of my opponent's cards. It doesn't work with the if I have one of these guys underneath it, so I prefer to use either one of the 1-drop Zamasus or the 1-drop Gokus underneath there instead, if possible. The other 5-drop that I run is the draw engine, basically. So you pay 1 Union Patara. This one will mill 1 from the top of the opponent's deck. And when I attack with it, I can choose to put a card underneath it into the combo area. So that'll help me to kind of like recycle those 1-cost Goku Blacks and Zamasus if I'm wanting to use that with my Union or my Z Unison effect. On top of those 5 costs, we'll go into the 8 cost. It's 1, essentially milling 2 cards off the top of your opponent's deck. And then with my leader, it's a total of 3, which is really nice. It does have an on-play effect when I can choose one of my opponent's battle cards and KO it, which is really great. Helps get rid of some of those pesky bigger cards that maybe don't have barrier. It does also have an activate battle. I can take all the cards from underneath this card and put them into the drop, and I can restand one of my Zamasus, which is usually going to be my leader, unless I'm wanting to go in more aggressive, and then I'll go ahead and restand one of these, which is a 20k double striker. All right, so those are the Zamasus. A couple of tech pieces here. Hit, Assassin Strike. I can basically combo with this, pay 2, and after the battle I can put it into play. When this card is in rest mode, when your opponent attacks, they may choose 2 cards in their hand and discard them. If they don't, they negate that attack, and your opponent can't attack for the turn. So it's kind of a forced mill. It is a limit 1, but it does make them think twice about attacking, and I already have so much defense that this just really comes in handy for trying to get some cards out of their hand. My first secret rare, which is a charismatic villain. I can go ahead and KO something that is in play. It's a counter play if I have a Unison in play with 2 markers on it. Another little tech piece. I don't run a whole lot of Saiyan cards, so this one comes live really quick. With this deck, you do have to have a couple of hard negates, just because Dormant Potential it kind of leaves you open for that first attack, so you got to consider being able to hard out that next attack. The super combo for the deck, of course, is going to be Helis, which is discard a card, draw 2, and it's searchable on my leader. And I like to have Goku Blacks in the drop, so it kind of makes sense to have something that discards from the hand. Late game negate, pay 2. Your opponent has to mill 4 anytime that they attack. It also does negate the attack and is also a blocker, which is really nice. I've seen some people play this really early on so that they can take what's called the Oceanus Challenge. I'm fine with that, but I'll usually hold on to these until the later turns when it hurts a little bit more. 2 Homicidal Clones. I think they're still good. For the Dormant Potentials, because it's green and we want to last a really long time. And I do always have to remind myself that I can pop something that's 2 or less. It does also, I believe it also works on tokens, and so this is a really great way to get some of those smaller pesky guys off the board. Last hard negate there, just a shocking death ball. And then my SCR is going to be Cell. It's really easy to get one of those 8-cost Zamasus out, and then also just put down one of those 4-cost Goku Blacks for 1 green to be able to get myself up to 12. Indestructible is only against my opponent's skills, so I can go ahead and put those in my drop if I need to. And then we do also run blue. So a little bit different from a lot of the lists that I've seen. Pay 1 if you have 4 or more energy and you choose 2 non-Great Priest God cards in your battle area, return them to their owner's hands and play this card from your hand. 20k critical, helps me get back either my big evolved targets. It could help me get some of the smaller guys. Everything is a god. It really helps to go hard on the mill if I need to. And then of course if we're running blue, we're running Senzu Bean. And that's it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, links and buttons. That's it. Bye.